Hi, Dad.
Hey, sweetheart.
Wave to the camera.
Hey.
How do you feel about Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney, you're number one. Twice. Yeah. Um, nice flip flop on the abortion thing. His sister had, I guess, an abortion or something, and he had an epiphany. That somehow abortion is a good thing and should go for it. Me personally, I think that abortion should never be used as birth control, but I bet you 99% of the cases that's what it's used for, in the majority of the cases anyway. And old Mitt, he is what he needs to be. He a real chameleon, a lizard. I think he's really a blood sucker. Um, Takes over companies, uh, leverage them. In other words, the company goes out and borrows everything it can to pay his fees. He stuffs it in his pockets, him and his rich buddies. And if they got a nice retirement fund, I'm sure that's emptied out in their pockets too. He gets it all. You don't get 250 million plus dollars, a quarter of a billion plus dollars without, you know, the way he did, without hurting a lot of working men and women. Uh, he is what he needs to be at the moment. He's a blood sucker. Kind of looks like Count Chocula. If you had that thing with the high collar on, the coat with the high collar, he looks like a vampire. Another blood sucker. You know, and yeah, I got no use for him. Um, if he hadn't flip flopped a couple years back, he could have ran as vice president with Obama. Um, yeah, and also too, I like to mention I am a conservative and a Christian, and although I just did some things that weren't very Christian, but I'm very passionate about how much I despise and loathe Mitt Romney, and uh, I will not vote for Mitt Romney, and I would encourage uh, anybody who is passionate about not voting for Mitt Romney to cast a um, protest vote in order that the Republican Party will never give us another candidate like Mitt Romney, at least in the memorable future. Um, Otherwise, if you don't, you'll keep getting scumbags like Mitt Romney to run for president. And last thing we need is someone like Mitt Romney to screw over the middle class and the poor or anybody else. And I've seen that thing on TV too, where a bunch of people were losing their homes, and Mitt Romney says, "Well, yeah, at least you could lose their homes. That way, some vulture investor can swoop down and get them for a little bit of nothing, and then they could rent them back to the people who lost the homes." You know, nice guy, huh? Yeah, and he wants to be president of the United States. Yeah, at least with Obama, he tells you what he's going to do or what he's going to try to do, and he is what he is. Mitt Romney, you don't know what you'll get, and that should be evident by his past history of multiple flip flops. Um, yeah, the man has absolutely no moral compass, and uh, it would be a disaster having a Mitt Romney for a president. And um, that's about all I got to say. I mean, yeah. I'm going to preview that. Oh, bye.